I'd like to call this regular meeting of the Coralville City Council to order, January 9th, 2018. Roll call.
Councilmember Foster.
Present.
I didn't call you Bill. I worked
Yeah.
on it all day.
I'll write a note to myself.
Gill. Present. Dodds.
Present.
Goodrich.
Here.
Okay, all council members are present, as is the city clerk, city attorney, acting city administrator, and several staff in the audience. I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Gill, seconded by Goodrich. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, the agenda is approved. Okay, as is traditionally the case after an election year, the first meeting of the council, we take the opportunity to swear in the new members or returning members, whatever the case may be, that were re-elected or elected in the fall. So that would include new member Meghann Foster, council members Gill and Goodrich, and myself. So the city attorney will do this.
All right. We'll start with the lady
Okay.
first and then
Should I come around?
whatever you want to do.
You want to stand by me so it's too far at once? Okay. I state your name.
I, John Lundell,
Solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
that I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge all the duties of the office in Coralville,
discharge all the duties of the office.
in Coralville. It should be office of the mayor in Coralville,
Okay, duties of the office of the mayor in Coralville,
as now or hereafter required by law.
as now or hereafter required by law.
We'll start with Meghann, and then if you want to do whatever you want to. So I state your name.
I, Meghann Foster,
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge all the duties of the office of City Council Member in Coralville,
discharge all of the duties of the office of City Council in Coralville,
as now or hereafter required by law.
as now or hereafter required by law.
Bill.
9 times. Is this your 9? Yeah.
So you gotta have the script next.
Okay. Okay, so I state your name.
I, Thomas Gill,
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
I solemnly swear to support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge all the duties of the office of City Council Member in the City of Coralville,
discharge all the duties of the office of
Council Member.
council member
I added that.
in Coralville,
As now or hereafter required by law.
as now or hereafter required by law.
I know part of it.
I state your name.
I, Laurie,
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge all the duties of the office of City Council in the City of Coralville,
discharge all the duties of office of the City Council in the City of Coralville,
as now or hereafter required by law.
as now or hereafter required by law.
Very good. We're all legal now. And your family should be very proud of your mother and wife. All right. Okay. Well, now we're going to move on to item 5, which is citizens' comments. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak to us this evening? Seeing none, we'll move on to the regular agenda. Item 6, the Iowa River Landing Building D public hearing. This is a public hearing for a proposal to enter into a general obligation urban renewal lease in the principal amount not to exceed $4,500,000. And if I'm not mistaken, this is for the project just north of the Scratch Cupcakery.
Correct.
The Watts project that will be a furniture store, office building, and then some living space up above. So I will open the public hearing. Are there any comments? Any written?
No written.
Okay. Seeing and hearing none, I'll close the public hearing and consider the resolution.
Resolution taking additional action to enter into a lease purchase agreement and providing for and approving a lease purchase agreement, a trust agreement, and related documents relating to the construction and operation of a retail/commercial space in a mixed-use facility in the Iowa River Landing, authorizing the issuance of and approving the sales of certificates of participation in connection with said lease purchase agreement and other related matters. This resolution introduced for adoption by Councilmember Foster, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Gill. Discussion? Roll call.
Gross. Aye. Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Nay.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Foster.
Aye.
Okay, resolution passes all ayes and one nay. Item C is a resolution that is for the same project that just corrects the name of the business, the applicant, that was incorrect last time.
Yeah, they formed it's Watts Group 3, so this is their third project, so next time I'll know it's at Watts Group 4.
Okay.
So,
We'll remember that.
yeah. Resolution of support of the application of Watts Group IRL 3 LLC for funding via the Workforce Housing Tax Credit Program and pledging cities monies for the same. This resolution introduced for adoption by Councilmember Gill, seconded by.
Second.
Who's first? Dodds. Second by Dodds. Any discussions?
I would just like to point out again that this is not a new project and it's not new money that we're committing. It's the same project. It was just that they changed the name of the applicant.
Okay, thank you, Ellen. Any other? Roll call.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Foster.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Resolution passes all ayes. Item 7 is a second consideration of an ordinance that will rezone a portion of some property in Coralville's Industrial Park Number 2 to IPUD 2. And the amended PUD site plan will add lots 1, 2, and 3. Second consideration.
Ordinance number 2018-1002, an ordinance amending the Coralville zoning ordinance, same being ordinance number 664 as previously amended, rezoning certain property located within the corporate limits of the city of Coralville, Johnson County, Iowa, and generally known as a portion of Lot 1 and all of Lot 2, Coralville Industrial Park Number 2, 6th edition from I-3 General Industrial District to I-PUD 2 Industrial Planned Unit Development 2 District. Introduced for adoption on second consideration by Councilmember Dodds, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Goodrich. Discussion? Roll call.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Foster.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Ordinance passes its second consideration, all ayes. Item 8 is also the second consideration of an ordinance. This is is to modify the housing code portion of the city code. Changes the restriction to occupancy of residential rental properties in response to the state law that prohibited the use of familiar. How do you say that?
Familial.
Boy, I have a hard one. And non-familial relationships in regulating the occupancy of those buildings.
Ordinance number 2018-1001, an ordinance amending Chapter 145 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Coralville 2011 as previously amended regarding rental housing occupancy. This ordinance introduced for second consideration by Councilmember Goodrich, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Foster. Discussion. Roll call.
Foster.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds. Goodrich.
Aye.
Ordinance passes its second consideration, all ayes. Item 9 is the First Avenue Duct Bank project from 6th Street to 9th Street. Item A of this is a motion approving pay estimate number 6.
Make a motion to approve pay estimate number 6.
Second.
Motion by Gill, second by Gross. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion passes. Item B is a resolution accepting the work for this project.
Resolution accepting the First Avenue Duct Bank Project 6th Street to 9th Street as completed. This resolution introduced for adoption by Councilmember Foster, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Gill. Discussion?
Yeah, just an update. They're finishing up the underground, pulling the wire, so by the end of the month, the poles on First Avenue should be out of the way in anticipation of the project starting in the spring.
Great. Good to hear. Roll call?
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Foster.
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. Item 10 is Coral Ridge Avenue Improvements Project Phase 2, and this is a rebid report. We rebid the project, and City Engineer Dan Holderness is going to give us an update.
Thank you, Mayor. This project was rebid on January 4th. We received 4 bids for the project at this time. The low bid was submitted from Peterson Contractors of Rhinebeck in the amount of $8,451,528.03. This was about 13% below the engineer's estimate, and so we would recommend award to Peterson Contractors.
Okay, thank you, Dan.
And this is subject to DOT concurrence and also City of North Liberty, because they're, a portion of this project is in North Liberty, and they're funding that project as well, that portion.
So at the next meeting, if we get it back from the DOT, we'll have that on there. We'll also have a 2080 agreement with North Liberty to get their funding in place too. But we, as Dan said, since the DOT has money involved in the project, that takes some time to get back. We just wanted to report on the rebid.
Thank you. So no further action on that project tonight.
I would just like to note again that we apologize for the issue that caused this to have to be rebid, and we've taken steps to make sure it doesn't happen again, but we do appreciate the people that rebid.
Yep, yeah, we do appreciate that. They're willing to come back and go for it a second time, and they can come back in a few weeks and do the First Avenue project for us as well.
And the Clear Creek Trail.
And Clear Creek Trail is coming up. So yeah, a lot of work coming up in Coralville. Item 11 is the First Avenue Improvements Project, 6th Street to 9th Street. This is a resolution setting a public hearing on the plan, specifications, and form of contracts for this project that we just discussed.
Yep.
Resolution.
Setting a public hearing on the plan, specifications, estimate of cost, and form of contract for the First Avenue Improvements Project, 6th Street to 9th Street. This resolution introduced for adoption by Councilmember Gross, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Goodrich. I'll just mention that this public hearing will be on January 23rd. Any other comments? Roll call.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Foster.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Resolution passes all ayes. Item 12 is the Clear Creek Trail, Phases 6 and 7. This is also a resolution setting a public hearing on the plans and specifications for this project, which would construct a trail extending west from just east of Deer Creek Road to just west of I-380, where it will connect to the Clear Creek Trail network in Tiffin. So it'll be an integral link in this in our trail system.
Resolution setting a public hearing on the plan, specifications, estimate of cost, and form of contract for the Clear Creek Trail Phases 6 and 7 project. This resolution introduced for adoption by Councilmember Gill, seconded by.
Second.
Second by Dodds. Discussion. Roll call.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Foster.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Resolution passes all ayes. I would entertain a motion to approve the consent calendar as presented or amended.
Move to approve the consent calendar items A through L inclusive.
Second.
Moved by Gill, seconded by Dodds to approve the consent calendar. Any discussion? Roll call.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Foster.
Aye.
Gross. Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Consent calendar is approved, all ayes. Moving right along, item 14 is the city administrator report.
I'd just like to welcome and congratulate Meghann, and congratulate again Mayor Lundell and Councilman Gill and Councilor Goodrich. It's great to have you all here. That's all I have.
Okay. Next item is the mayor's report, and I would, of course, like to do the same as particularly welcome Meghann. You got to be a little faster in there with those seconds and things. I can say I think I only said your name once tonight or so. So
Good to know.
that's okay. It all gets done, and it's good to work with the whole team. We're a great team and great staff, so it's a pleasure. I think the only item of business I would just mention is that the recycling of our Christmas lights. If you have lights at home, strings of lights that no longer function, and rather than disposing them in the trash, we do offer recycling. The metal gets recycled. Because it's been so cold, the original deadline was January 7th, and a lot of folks, including myself, didn't have a chance to get out and take our old lights down because it was too cold. We're extending that, Ellen, to the
29th, Monday, January 29th.
Yep, to the 29th of January. So folks can still recycle their Christmas lights at Hy-Vee.
And Coralville City Hall.
Yep, in Coralville City Hall. Yep. Okay, thank you for that. I believe that's all I have. City Attorney report.
Just pass along. Don's a little under the weather tonight, so that's why I'm here. He's still recovering from reading all those long ordinances from last meeting. So hopefully he'll be back in the seat the next meeting. So
Great, thank you. Committee and council members report. I think it's appropriate to start with Meghann.
Well, thank you, everybody, for the warm welcome, and everybody has been so wonderful and supportive and very kind. I am thrilled to be working on behalf of the citizens of Coralville. I'd like to thank all of my supporters. I'd like to thank my family and all of you for being very kind and very patient as I have asked many questions while I'm trying to get up to speed. I'm very lucky to work with such an awesome group of folks. One thing I'd like to put on everybody's radar is Monday is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and at the Coralville Public Library, we'll be hosting a reading of the I Have a Dream speech. I will be participating in that reading. And in addition to that event, the library will be having displays that celebrate our community's diversity, and they will also have some historical artifacts from the civil rights movement on display as well. So I would highly encourage everyone to get out and participate in many of the activities that are going on in the area to honor the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Very good. Thank you, Meghann. Mitch?
Stealing the library representative's thunder. Wow. Wow. Duly noted. It could be a long 4 years. I'll crash off my welcome and my MOK announcement. No, just but welcome, Meghann, to the council. And on that, 5 o'clock will be the reading of Dr. King's speech. But I would like to just, as I've been thinking about this a little bit, last year was the first year we did the reading of the speech. And, if you remember last year, I asked kind of what does our city do as an entity, for Dr. King Day compared to other places. I guess I'd like a little further investigation as far as, I'm curious what other towns do, from a day off standpoint. We get President's Day off, not MLK Day off, other places do both. I'm just curious how that got to be. And, I was just thinking about, I wasn't at our last council meeting, we were driving to Houston and we stopped at Memphis for 2 days on the way. And there's the National Civil Rights Museum where Dr. King was killed, and he was, there protesting a sanitation worker strike. And it just seems a little interesting that our sanitation workers and streets people are working on that day when, I don't think they are in other places. So I'd just be curious, two things. What do other cities do from a holiday standpoint? And then from a celebration standpoint, what do other cities do? And I'd like us to do a little bit more as a citywide standpoint than just having the reading at the library, which is a wonderful event. We had a great turnout last year, but I think it'd be good to maybe partner up and do a little bit more with that. And regarding library, there was a legislative library reception last week. I went, as well as our library director and library board members, and obviously there are concerns of funding, as I think will be the case with everything this year. That's all I've got, Mayor. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Tom?
Welcome, Meghann.
Thank you.
It's good to see you. I really don't have anything. You were talking about the sanitation. We have pickup on Monday?
We do.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Just want to make sure. So that's all I've got. Thank you.
Gill?
Congratulations to the mayor and the council on being sworn in again. And I just wanted to thank everybody. All of our food has gone to the food pantry, and thank all of the staff and all of our team here for all of the produce that they help supply for people in our community. Other than that, today is my husband Jeff's birthday, so I'm going to throw out a happy birthday to him.
Yeah. Okay.
And Laurie?
All right. Welcome, Meghann.
you.
And it's just great to work with all of you, and appreciate the opportunity. Winterfest is this Sunday down at the IRL. There's a number of different events that'll be a lot of fun for families, so get down there from 1 to 4. That's all. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Jill's comment reminded me about the food drive. Do you have those numbers handy, Ellen?
I probably have them
Off
on
the
my,
top of my head,
we
I
collected.
believe it was
Not under-
5,220 total, which includes about 400
That's pounds?
bus rides. No, items. We go by items.
Items, okay.
About 400 bus passes for Valley View Shelter, and the rest, or maybe Jill has it on my email from yesterday.
yes, this is from Alan's notes. So 428 bus passes for Shelter House Valley View Lodge, plus $3,033 in cash and checks, and 1,759 food items.
That's
As part of
fantastic.
the Severson Challenge. So,
Great
job.
Yep.
If we could collect almost 3 tons, we'd be pretty impressive.
Yeah. Next year, we're measuring it, we're going to weigh it.
Yeah.
Okay, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. We'll give it, motion by Gross, a second by Foster. We'll take it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, I heard you sneak in there.